What is up, guys, and welcome back to Above the Middle, the place where we talk about all things personal development with me, Joe Gibson. This week we are talking about procrastination, that thing in your life that stops you from working towards your goals and distracts you from the things that you need to be doing in your life. At its best, procrastination is a good little breather for you to get a break from the work that you need to do. At its worst, procrastination can absolutely ruin your chances of working towards your goals and putting in your fullest potential. So in this video, we're strictly going to talk about the neurological basis to procrastination and where that desire to avoid doing things that we truly need to do comes from. And then in the next video, I'm going to give you guys 3 things to remember in order for you to combat procrastination. So let's get started. Where does the neurological basis of procrastination come from? Well, it's our limbic system and our reward system. So I've spoken about this before, but just to give a brief overview for you. Your reward system, or your limbic system in your brain, is also known as the emotional part of your brain. It's an automatic part of your brain that was there hundreds of thousands of years ago, very early on in our development, and was integral in our survival back then. One of its functions is reward conditioning. By that I mean it's there to remember the things that you do that make you feel good so that you do them again. So whenever you do something that makes you feel good, so that can be eating sugary foods, having sex, to being attracted to somebody, doing drugs, to drinking alcohol, anything like that, dopamine is released into this part of your brain, and then your reward system simply remembers the who, what, where's and how's you found that thing so that you can do them again. So where does this actually play into procrastination? So another function of the limbic system, and this is why it's part of the emotional brain, is that it is there for immediate mood repair. So whenever you are feeling uncomfortable, anxious or afraid or stressed out, this part of the brain is going to go into overdrive to make you think of things that are going to make you feel better in the moment. This is why it stores all the things that make you feel good, so that when you are feeling down or you're feeling uncomfortable, any sort of negative emotion, it's going to think, right, what can we do right now to make you feel better? And this is where procrastination comes from. So you will never really procrastinate unless there is a negative emotion associated with the task that you want to do. So when you're wanting to do anything from, say, like paying your bills or working on a project, and you're thinking to yourself, oh, I don't really want to do that, that's going to make me feel uncomfortable, or it's going to stress me out a bit. This is where that limbic system is going to kick in and create a kind of craving for you to do something that's going to make you feel better in the moment. It's going to think, oh well, let's not do that, let's, I don't know, sit and watch Netflix or sit on your phone because that will make you feel better. When you think about it, it's kind of brilliant that we have this little part of our brain that's looking out for us and saying, oh, don't do that thing that's going to make you feel uncomfortable because you can do something else that's going to make you feel even better. It's essentially down to our fight and flight response. This goes from thousands and thousands of years ago, when we had a lot of physical threats in our environment, where you had to run away from a tiger if it was about to eat you, or any sort of thing like that. What's different in this day and age is that we do not have that many physical threats. Most of us don't have to worry about our physical safety. However, in this day and age, there is a lot of emotional strain on us. So whether it's our own expectations or society's expectations, there's just a lot of pressure on us mentally to get things done. This part of the brain is just going to work like it did thousands of years ago. It's going to look at a possible threat to you, even if it's an emotional threat, and it's going to say, don't do that, we need to keep you safe. Don't do something that's going to make you feel uncomfortable. Do something better. Do something that's going to make you feel better in the moment. The reason why our limbic system works like this is because it's in close association with our amygdala. So you've heard me talk about amygdalas before. Essentially, it's the fear-based response system in your brain. So anytime that you're feeling stressed, nervous, anxious, afraid, this part of your brain is going to light up. It's going to send out a signal to the rest of your brain and say, oh God, there's a threat in our environment. There's a possible threat here to my emotional well-being. And it's going to send out a signal that kind of sounds like, we need to get this person to avoid doing this, because there's a possibility there that they might feel stressed out or anxious or afraid. And that's where the limbic system kicks in then, to think of all the ways and all the things that you could be doing to make yourself feel better in the moment. So when you think about it, it's a really great system to have, but it's just not really appropriate in this day and age for most of us who are just looking to carry out our day-to-day tasks that might cause us a bit of stress. So that essentially is where procrastination comes from. It's your brain's association of a negative emotion with a task that you want to do, and then it's your limbic system trying to convince you to do something else. And it's going to create that urge and that craving in you to avoid the thing that you need to be doing in favour of a short-term fulfilling reward. So when you think about procrastination, just simply think about it as your brain's way to avoid negative emotions. And studies actually show that procrastination isn't a time management issue. It's got nothing to do with how you are spending your time. It's down to how you can regulate your emotions. So if you can't handle stress, or you can't handle these negative emotions, you're going to be more inclined to just procrastinate and avoid doing them, because you're essentially avoiding feeling something negative. It's your issue of not being able to deal with negative emotions when they come up, so you choose to avoid them. That's it for this video, guys. Feel free to jump on over to the next video where I talk about how to tackle procrastination. And if not, I will see you next week for another video. Check out the blog where I talk about this stuff in a little bit more detail. And thank you so much for watching. Click that subscribe button if you want to. I will see you soon.